Hey friends, my name's Ciotti. Everybody calls me Ciotti. This laptop's very cool. I left it out in the car. I'm a bad laptop owner. Welcome to Monday Night Fart Fest. Monday night, we're gonna fly around and try not to panic about the end of the world. The flying from the intro there was the Walk Snail Batwing mount 16mm build. Tonight, though, we're going to be flying this 16 gram. It's not 16 grams anymore. When I took that thumbnail image, it was 16 grams. But then I forget what happened to it. I don't know if so that was the Air 65 AIO that was direct soldered, which is how it was so light. And it was also in a light AF frame, which is why it was down under 17 grams. I don't remember what happened with that rig. Either that AIO, either the UFL broke off of that AIO, or something else happened. I think I remember that light AF frame breaking. The hell's happening in the chat? YouTube is freaking out, and the chat is just getting caught up from the last... Wow, that was weird. Yeah, that rig came apart, and then this is its spiritual successor. Same canopy and camera, which is the CO3. Different frame. This is the Newbie Drone Cockroach V3 for extra durability, since the motors make all the power in the world. Same motors, WeBleed FPV 0702 40,000s, my favorite 702s. We might try a couple of different props tonight. Maybe not. I've really fallen in love with these HQ 1.2 by 1.2 by 2 ultralight biblades. What else? The AIO on this is now the Matrix AIO. Because the more I think about it, the more I think I remember the UFL breaking off of that regular Air 65 AIO. Yeah, I can't really recommend any of those ultra lightweight beta FPV AIOs because the UFL breaking off is just a complete deal breaker. The Matrix AIO here is the same weight as the Happy Model 2G4, and on this exact one, I have plugged and unplugged this UFL over 10 times now, and it has not broken off. So massive shout out to Beta FPV for fixing the problem. Unfortunately, in the process of fixing the problem, this Matrix AIO now weighs exactly what the 2G4 weighs. So there's and like the 2G4's durability is such a known quantity that like if I was buying an AIO today, I would get a 2G4 from WeBleed. This Matrix AIO might be just as durable. And so if you're ordering from a website that has this Matrix AIO in stock and not the 2G4, you're probably pretty safe getting this one. But again, like we know that the 2G4 is a total workhorse, outrageously durable. WeBleed still, last time I checked, had a whole bunch of them in stock. And so it's tough to stray away from a total known quantity. But yeah, I've put a bunch of batteries through this Matrix flight controller, and it's been totally fine. We're gonna put a bunch more batteries through it tonight, and just keep stress testing it. Keep durability testing it. And I don't know if we get to like 100+ batteries through it with the way that I fly. That's a pretty safe bet at that point. You know what I mean? So that's sort of the plan for this evening. This is a Q&A live stream. So any questions that you've got, drop them into the chat. Do me a favor and tag me. Type CiottiFPV into your chat message. Those are the only chat messages that I read, just in case you guys want to talk trash about me and not have me find out about it. You do you. Don't do that, though. It'll make me feel bad. And when I feel bad, nothing happens. I was going to say people die, but nobody dies. I want to celebrate what was happening today. Maggie and I watched Melancholia. So, we got to watch The World End twice. So that was interesting. Hell of a movie. Oh my God. I actually hadn't seen it. One of the most accurate and most sort of poignant visual representations of depression. What's really hard about it, and towards the end of the movie, it's only real superpower. Melancholia is a movie about a planet that I'm not going to ruin it for you. If you want to learn about depression, and if you want possibly the most accurate portrayal of what clinical depression really looks like, and like the one good thing that can potentially come from it, watch Melancholia. It's a Magnolia Pictures film, so it's going to be good. You'll get to see Kirsten Dunst's boobs, so if you're into that, now's your chance. Very well written, a work of art, and a really important movie to check out. Not a feel good film at all, but sometimes we gotta feel feelings. It's pretty important. So check it out. In the chat, Curtis Hayes was first. Frank Nicholas was next. Notice, WeBleed, what's up, Zotek? Game Cinna, Cheetonian, Fly, Cadelic, Doubles FPV, James Thomas, Render, LOL the Kittison, Spaceman Spiff, Vegan Linux FPV. That's a fun name. Might be Vegan Linux. It's probably Vegan Linux. James Thomas, Douglas 6, Render again, Skyotic, Notice, Danzilla the Terrible, Northern Tier, Shoot FPV, Mick Mucus, Scotty Scott, Sciotic again. James Thomas again. Where are the fresh folks? Juicy J FPV. That's a fun name. Metal Dark Skin, Render, James Thomas, Flash FPV, Free Range Chicken. I'm doing a bad job tonight not saying the same names of people over and over again. Neurone FPV, Dave S, Flash FPV, Uriel, Hendrix Freakazoid, LOL the Kittison, Scotty Scott. Who else do we have? My eyes and sinuses and lungs are a hot mess because we made a fire upstairs earlier, and for whatever reason, all of the smoke from the fire just dumps down the stairwell and just completely fills up the basement. I've moved the air filter down here, and it's been just railing all day trying to get caught up with it, but it's still my eyes are just wrecked, and yeah, I'm having a super hard time, as always, when it's a shame because, you know, fires are cool and we've got a whole big ass pile of firewood in the back. But I don't know. I feel like I might have to just have us do the fires on days that I'm not gonna come down here. Give it like a full 24 hours for the fumes and shit to get out from down here, because it's just insane. Like, it is just brutal, man. Who else is in the chat? Terminal Insanity. Rye Bread. Who else? Louie's here. Neo Flow. Himox. Brent Anderson. Morton Upshot. I think I got everybody. Green Thumb FPV. What's up, friends? WeBleed says, WeBleed skirt 40,000 kV. Indeed. Indeed, my friend. How you been, Zotek? The coverage of the Tiny Whoop racing was, of course, amazing. That company that does those live streams is phenomenal. We've had 2 days of unbelievable live streams covering the Tiny Whoop racing. Unfortunately, I'm really not into the racing thing, but for any of you guys that are, you've been very lucky to have all that the past couple of days. I've bounced in and out a couple of times just to say hi. Denzel the Turbo says, good evening, everyone in CiottiFPV. McBucas says, hello, Monday people in CiottiFPV. Happy Dr. King Day. Yeah, indeed. Happy MLK Day. Not a very happy day for other reasons, but, you know. Northern Tier says, yeah, no shit, end of the world, LOL, yeah. Scotty Scott says, echo, echo, echo on the audio. Really? That's new. Anybody else getting an echo? I don't... Yeah, no echo. Nobody else has echo. Scotty Scott, did you try turning it off and on again? Denzel the Terrible says, CiottiFPV has Astro Boy hair tonight. Yeah, my hair's getting cut on Thursday, so I just don't care until then. It's a disaster. I've had this hood up all day too because it's been so goddamn cold in here. I'll put the hood back up. Here we go. There we go. Be a warm stream. All right. Uriel says, the apocalypse is still going on. We in the middle. Indeed. Flash FPV says, what prop should I get for my 40,000 kV Air 65? Great question, Flash FPV. HQ, 1.2 by 1.2 by 2 ultralight biblades. I don't even know if these are available yet, but as soon as they're available, get some of these. Gem Fan, 1210 biblades. And then HQ, 1.2 by 0.9 by 3 tri-blades. Those are the 3 propellers that you want for mega high kV motors. All 3 of those props will give you great power and great performance out of 40,000 kV 0702s, or really any high kV 0702s. Uriel says, I hear only my extra personalities. What else are we doing? Uriel says, if they talk trash about you, I get them, otherwise point them out. Who? Who's talking trash? Hey, I added tons more stuff to the Etsy store. If I haven't gotten back to you guys in the last couple of days, I apologize. But for what I've had a big ass box of stuff that I've been wanting to add to the Etsy store for more than a month, for a couple of months. And like, it's just annoying as hell to take pictures, to type all the shit in. And so I've just been like putting it off, doing all the other stuff, because I get into like, I'll just get in the mood to do like a random weird thing. And I knew that at some point I would, you know, be in the mood to do it. And for whatever reason this week, / last week, I was in the mood to get that shit up on Etsy. So I kind of prioritized doing that. And I've spent like 10, 15, 20 hours doing that over the last bunch of days. And so I apologize if I haven't gotten back to any of you, but for whatever reason, I've just kind of prioritized that. It's really, really, really hard to do all the things every day. Like usually, if I do all of like the FPV admin work, let's call it, I'm just shot by the end of it. And so I don't get to do stuff like that. And so, yeah, when I get like in the mode to do something like that, all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? I got to do this right now. And I got to kind of like do all of it. Not like full blown hyper focus, but like, yeah, elements of hyper focus to it. So yeah, if you're waiting here back for me, you will just give me another day or so. I've gotten through like half of this box. I've prioritized all the cool stuff. All the best stuff is now up on the Etsy. So go snag yourself something. Don't expect it to ship right away though. I will get stuff shipped out. There's a bunch of orders that have already piled up, but yeah, lots and lots and lots of stuff has been added over the last like 2 days. I've added everything that you see here. So yeah, lots of cool stuff. Go check it out. CiottiFPV.com is the website with all the different ways to support me. Streaming schedule is here. Patreon definitely helps me out the most. Speaking of Patreon, I have gotten way behind on shout outs for folks that have joined the Patreon. I've had my email on the second monitor here for a couple of live streams, and I've just not remembered to jump in. So Joel Sandin, welcome to the Gangly Gang. Thank you for joining the Patreon, my friends. Who else do we have here? We've got Flykadelic. I think I saw you in the chat, as well as Demo FPV and Robert Blackwell. Thank you for joining the gang, my friends. Welcome to the best gang on the internet. Those guys are all in tiers that are going to get them entered to win things in the giveaways. The first Monday of every single month, I do 4 giveaways. 3 of those giveaways are for patrons, and all 3 of those guys are entered to win. The $5 and up tiers will enter you to win those giveaways. So if you're on the $3 tier, it's only $2 extra, and then you might win $50, $60, $70 worth of Tiny Whoop stuff. Do the math, yo. For an extra $2, you might win $50+ worth of stuff. If you eventually win, it'll cover that $2, won't it? Do it! Craig Meyer, welcome to the Gangly Gang. Thank you for the... Oh, wait, no. So Craig Meyer sent a $25 PayPal. He says, gift for your good self-deprecating humor. Thank you so much, Craig, for supporting the madness. We've got Leonard joining the Gangly Gang. Welcome to the Patreon, dude. Thank you for the support. And then we've got some Eric K. and Jeff. Welcome to the gang, my friends. Thank you for the support. Patreon is the best way that you guys can support me. It makes a huge difference. It's the closest thing that I've got to a paycheck, and it's the way that you get the most benefits, to be really honest. The Patreon page itself has tons of really cool articles and stuff on there. It's going to give you full access to the Discord. It's going to give you access to 2 different Facebook groups, of which I can't remember the last time I went in. I have them set up to automatically add people, but it doesn't work all that well. My God, look at this blast from the past. Holy hell. 2008, 2012. Jesus. 2008 Solo 2 Rookie of the Year, 2012 Driver of the Year, and then there's a third one in the box for 2013 Driver of the Year as well. Any other fun stuff in here? I remember when Facebook wasn't horrid. Oh, God, look at this little guy. Ugh! Things. Nope, nothing else fun. Hold on, let me go do to groups and make sure there's not 7,000 bing bongs. 7,000 membership requests. There we go. Douglas O and Justin Bates, welcome to the Gangly Gang. Thank you for the support, fellas. Very cool of you. I think that gets me caught up. That does get me caught up. Basically, shout out to Levster for a $50 super chat / PayPal. Levster is in Austria. He is who bought the $200 custom Tiny Whoop build that got lost in the mail. And he just sent me an email. He said, hey, just send me $150 back for it. Keep the other $50, which is legitimately him doing a $50 PayPal. So massive thank you and shout out to Levster for supporting the channel. That is very, very, very cool of you, my friend. Thank you, dude. That is absolutely awesome. One action. Now, looks like I'm good. It looks like finally the auto membership thing is working. Oh, 3 actions. Now, it might not be working over here. Or maybe it is. Now we're good. Oh, nope. Not good at all. Okay. Nope, it's not working. It's just Facebook is so shit that even though it says 0 membership requests, there's actually a whole bunch of them in here. Way to go, idiot book. Membership requests. Okay, yeah, there were a whole bunch. I apologize to anybody that's joined the Patreon that has been waiting to get added to those 2 Facebook groups. I just don't use Facebook anymore. It's just it's become a terrible place. Yeah, in so many ways. In so many ways. But if you use it, that's okay. It's just for those of us that yeah, the long and short of it is that when Facebook has I've been hacked a couple times, and it corresponds with when I use it. Like if I'm actively using Facebook, I will get hacked, and then I will get kicked off, and then I will not have access to any of the actual messenger conversations, and that's a big problem. And so in order for me not to continually get hacked over and over again, I have to just not use Facebook, which is fine. The less social media in my life, the better, basically. So, yeah, I use it for Messenger as, messaging, and that is completely it. The reason why one of the reasons it's so bad is that when you get hacked, it is almost impossible to get access again. Like their process of getting back on there is beyond horrendous, and it takes months and months and months, and you have to send emails over and over. It takes. I think I figured it out. The most recent time, I think it took between 40 and 50 hours for me to get back onto it. It's just a complete joke. And so, yeah. If you use Facebook Messenger, and if you have like conversations in Facebook Messenger that matter, be really careful. Because their security is a joke, and then eventually when you do get hacked, lots of people never get back on. Lots of people that have built this is all over Reddit, this is all over the internet, people that have built their entire businesses on Facebook, will never be able to get it back, and it will shutter their entire business. It's unconscionable. So 661 says, biggest news of today, T-Dog won 5th in Whooptopia. Neon got 3rd. Biggest win was Pork Chop, got 4th out of T-Dog. The winner I'd never heard of, but I don't pay attention to racing. But yeah, the main winner, I hadn't heard of him, which is pretty cool. It's always good in like high level racing when different people win. You know what I mean? It gets super stale when the same person wins over and over again, unless they're a good person. You know, like when it's like a really good human being that keeps winning over and over again, it's like, well, okay, that's fine. Louis says, did you see my Discord message about Space Sniffer after the Sunday stream? It's really awesome to be able to visualize my storage space. To be honest, Louis, I'm not sure. Today's been pretty shitty. And so I might have, but I'm just not totally sure. I might have. But, I mean, you just said what it is. It's called Space Sniffer. I'm just going to pull it up in a tab. Sounds vaguely familiar. It's on SourceForge, it looks like. Is it free? Hopefully it's free. Looks like it's free. I'm downloading it. It better be good. It's downloading. There it goes. Cool. I will check it out. Thank you, dude. I forgot the rest of my insurance sales pitch. Fiverr, you can work one-on-one with me. Take advantage of over 8 years of knowledge in FPV so that you get the right answers to your questions rather than the garbage answers that you'll get from Facebook groups and Reddit. Etsy has, like I said earlier, lots and lots and lots of stuff. There's a special mega deal for patrons. There's a Patreon post from a few days ago for when you're doing your Etsy orders. Do me a favor, but when you buy some stuff on Etsy, get a sticker. Buy one of my stickers. Show your love. Buy a sticker with whatever else you buy. Cool? And then stick it on something. And then take a picture of it. I'll post it on my Instagram. Maybe you'll get some follows or whatever. If you care about that. Teespring has some... Oh, I almost threw up. Teespring has some fun stuff. PayPal, if you want to do a super chat, but you don't want YouTube/Google to take 30%. And then lots and lots of affiliate links here. Click them before you order. Change your bookmarks to them. Change your URL bar auto suggestions to them. And those of us that create content here on YouTube will keep on doing it. How's that sound? Good? All right. Why is the mic not miking? Hold on. Let me give the mic just a little bit more gain. Just a little bit. Brought it from +8 to +9. It's still a little quiet. Let's go up to +10. There we go. I don't want to make a huge change. There you go. That's how you support me, my friends. This is a completely crowdfunded thing. If you like honest reviews, sometimes you got to pay a couple bucks for them. It's just the way it is nowadays. Wow, I'm behind on chat. Holy cow. Morton Upshot says, sorry, buddy, my Buckeyes are in your background, and I need to keep an eye on them. No worries, brother. No worries. Himok says, what are you going to build with the 04 Lite? Both 1S and 2S. I don't know which I'm going to do first, but we're going to do a 1S 65mm build. Why am I still on that? Yeah, a 1S 65mm... I don't know. I don't know if we're going to do a freestyle or a cinematic. Maybe both. But regardless, we're going to do a 1S 65mm build to see how that is. And then we're going to do a 2S build as well. And I think that I'm going to do it in this with the same AIO, actually. Timmons donated a Happy Models Super X AIO. And it's been just kind of sitting over here. And it will take 1S or 2S. And so I think I'm going to build it 1S first. And then once we fly that around a bit, I really don't think I'm going to keep that together. Maybe. We'll find out. If I do decide to keep it together, hopefully by then the lights are still available, or there's been a second run of them, and then I'm going to do a 2S 75mm build to replace the 2S walk snail build, because yeah, I don't know, I'm just kind of fed up with the walk snail light VTXs blowing up. Even though the most recent one was absolutely my fault, but I only take partial blame, because if you make a product and it just in the tiniest little corner it says V1 or V2 or V3, and all of a sudden, like, the new version of that product takes a huge voltage range, but the previous versions only take a small voltage range, and you don't change something significant to make it obvious, then that's dumb. Which is basically what happened. The version 1, version 2 of the walk snail light board had to be powered by 5-volt only. The version 3, you could power it from 1S or 2S. And I got used to the version 3, and when I was moving one of those VTXs from a 1S rig to a 2S rig, I just didn't think about it, and there's nothing really all that obvious, except, you know, in the very, very little corner, the tiniest little silk screen that says V3, and I just forgot. Yeah, no, look, like, if you're going to do that to a product, change the color of the PCB. Instead of just having VBAT on the pad, change it to, I don't know, you know, like, change something significant when you do something like that. It's Denzel the Terrible says, try opening a window on the ground floor. A weak crack when lighting the fire could help change the air pressure in the room. That's an interesting idea. It's so goddamn cold out, though. I feel like that would negate the purpose, because that would start pulling all that cold air in, you know? That was one of my really cool Mythbusters episode. They tested, does lighting a fire in one room reduce the temperature in all the other rooms of the house, and they confirmed it. Which makes sense, right? The fire is going to burn, it's going to burn oxygen that's in the house, and so it pulls oxygen from the rest of the house. And if it's cold outside, every single little crack in the window is going to seep that cold air in, so all the other rooms are going to get a little bit colder. Himok says, I will travel next month. Any tips on what I can bring with me and what not? All the stuff I have is 1S Tiny Whoop. How many lipos can I bring with me on the plane? It depends on who you're flying with. American Airlines has some pretty outrageously dumb rules. I think it's like 2 lipos. I think you're only allowed to bring like 2 or 3 lipos on a plane. Whether or not you're actually going to get caught, that's another story. But when a client hires me and they have to fly me somewhere, I very specifically tell them that they cannot fly me with American Airlines, because I have to bring more than 2 lipos. Most other airlines are totally fine. Make sure that the batteries are at storage voltage or below, just so that you don't light the plane on fire. You're going to put them in your checked luggage. I'm sorry, in your carry-on luggage only. Do not put them in checked luggage. Carry them in a Kevlar lipo bag and have it ready to put onto the conveyor belt. Don't leave it inside of your bag. If you leave it inside of your bag, they will absolutely check your bag, unquestionably. So yeah, put it separately in the little tray, and yeah, you'll be totally fine. It's no big deal. I've flown so many times with quad stuff. Hemok says, I will travel. Take the batteries out of everything. Take the lipo out of your transmitter, out of your goggles, right? Like, think of all the hidden spots where you've got lipos. Because again, if you don't put those lipos into the tray through the X-ray machine, they look like little boom boom things. And so, yeah, that'll get your bag pulled. It's no big deal when your bag gets pulled. It's just annoying, and it takes time, and it's just, it's just silly. But, yeah, you'll be all right. Morton Upshot says, didn't tag last time. If that much smoke accumulates down there, make sure it's not building up carbon monoxide. There is a carbon monoxide detector somewhere. I guess it's in the other... It's actually a really good call. It's in the other side of the basement. Hang on. Hang on. Let me grab that because, yeah, carbon monoxide is sneaky. And I think carbon monoxide is heavier than air. The flue works and everything up there. But still, yeah. Carbon monoxide is scary shit. Here's the free... Oh, no, here's the 75... this is me flying like a buffoon. Hold on, I just want to give you something to watch while I run over there and grab it. I think this is me trying to chase the drift cars with a 75mm rig. Because the 65mm rig is right in front of the camera. I'll be right back, hold on. Come on, hard drive, you oh, you giant heap of shit. Come on! It's not even the hard drive, it's the enclosure. There we go. Right back, hold on. Alright, found it. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe, and I've tried this before and it seems to work, if you want to test if your carbon monoxide detector is working, just turn your car on and put it in front of the tailpipe. I think there's enough carbon monoxide that comes out of the exhaust of your car to test it. This is not me using a 75mm rig. That's for damn sure. Oh, another video started playing. Yeah, this is the 65mm rig for certain. Was there a huge difference in my flying between the last battery and this one? Let's see if I can see on the arm of the thing. Oh, this is when Patrick was there. Nice. Yeah, this is me flying the 65 rig. You can tell. Plus, it's not sitting on the arm of the... Oh, you know what it was? You know what I bet you it was? I bet you that was Patrick flying the... No, it wasn't, because the No, it was a 75mm rig. It was a 75mm rig. Yeah, I just put the... So I'd put the carbon monoxide detector in the furnace room. And so now I put it at the bottom of the stairs. It's not going nuts yet. I pushed the test button and it beeped a couple times, so it seems to be working. Next time I drive, I'll put it in front of the tailpipe of the car. Hold on, let's see. Let's Google it. Can I test if my carbon monoxide detector is working by putting it in front of the tailpipe of my car? I never actually looked it up. I just assumed. Can I use car exhaust to test carbon? No. Oh God! The most important rule regarding your carbon monoxide detector is to never expose it to engine exhaust gas. All right, I guess I should buy a carbon monoxide detector from Home Depot. Oh shit, that's funny as hell. That's from what? That's from forensicsdetectors.com. I don't know, whatever. I'll go grab. They're not super expensive. It makes sense to get a fresh one. This one came with the house. The house had a bunch of them, so God only knows how old this one is. So I'll grab a new one. Hold on, I gotta leave a note for myself. Good thinking, fellas. Maybe that's why I've been so tired lately. No, I haven't been tired lately. I'm always tired. We need to get a monoxide from Home Depot. Where there I might be getting. All right, cool. We're good. It'll be fine. What just disappeared? Why did everything just No, we're good. Terminal Insanity says, you need a monoxide/carbon detector. If smoke is that bad, burning wood gives off poisonous gas. Notice, oh no, we got that. Neuron says, now you look like FPV vegan. Nice. Uriel says, overpressure your basement with hot air from upstairs. It's good isolation for home. I wish, man. The basement is very cold compared to upstairs. There's only one single vent down here. If I had the money, I would love to hire an HVAC person to come in and install another hose coming off the furnace and another vent down here. But I'm sure that would cost a fucking arm and a leg. So yeah. I wish. I have closed a couple of vents upstairs, which I know like you're kind of not supposed to do because it puts more stress on the fan. But yeah, I think I've only closed like 2 vents up there. I don't really want to close more than that. To try to, yeah. Render says the goggles 3 need more stretch. Those things are ridiculous. Can barely lift them off my forehead to do something. The strap is too tight. Is that what you mean, Render? Maybe your head's just too goddamn big. Himok says, why do you use 2-blade on high KV motors, 65 whoop? Because the high KV motors already have enough power. You don't need tri-blades. Also, bi-blades are lighter weight, and which makes them more responsive. And also, when you're off throttle, you know, I love like the off throttle throw. And so with a bi-blade, when you come off the throttle, there's less obstruction. So if the whoop is like flying through the air like this, or like this, or like this, it's going to sail for longer. So the bi-blades make these tiny whoops even more, mimic the outdoor flight characteristics of like 5-inch rigs and 3-inch rigs and stuff like that even more. So the kind of, you know, crazy shit that I do, like a lot of like the momentum based stuff and the zero throttle stuff, with the bi-blades, it's you get more hang time in that way, and they just carry more in the air. It makes them a lot harder to fly. Like I definitely notice that when I run tri-blades, I like hit gaps more frequently, more reliably, but it's just more fun to fly them with the bi-blades. And again, the response time is better because they're lighter, so the PID loop is just like rocking. So you know, zero prop wash and that kind of stuff. And again, plus with 40,000 with really high KV motors, you get plenty of power with the bi-blades. And it also like it allows the motor. Excuse me, it allows the motors to spin up. You know, the bi-blades are going to have less drag, and like I said, they're lighter. So with that high KV motor, it's going to really let that motor just crank to that super high RPM. Uriel says, with the hoodie, you look like a muck. I'm a bad monk. I look like a monk. Nice. Brent Anderson says, been waiting your work. Been waiting your workload out / zeroing in on some of them motorizers. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for the motor spacers and the screws and whatnot. That was one of the things that kind of pushed me to finally like dive into Etsy and get a bunch of stuff up. Notice says CiottiFPV looks like the Unabomber, just needs some shades. I got you. I got you, bro. Go all the way in. Going all the way tonight. Yeah. Render says, CiottiFPV or chat, when you get a temp certificate from the FAA, does that mean your Part 107 is going through or just going to take a while to actually send them out? Once you pass the test, you're good to go. It does take a little bit for you to get the actual card. But yeah, once you've passed that test, you're all set. Not that it matters, to be totally honest, because they don't police a goddamn thing. See, fart. Free Range Chicken with a $19.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. He says thanks for the stream. You're certainly welcome. If I'm completely honest, I was with the things that happened today. I was absolutely not in the mood. But that's why they call it work, as my dad has always said, and that has really stuck with me. Like, this job is incredibly fun, and I'm incredibly lucky, but it's still a job, and yeah, that's why they call it work. Sometimes every single one of you knows exactly what I'm talking about. There are days that you just absolutely don't want to go in. When I worked in an office, there were entire years that I didn't want to go in, which put me down a pretty dark path towards the end there. But yeah, sometimes you just got to show the fuck up and do your absolute best. I'm super lucky to get to hang out with you beautiful bastards and do such a cool thing. But, I've been doing these live streams for coming up on 4 years now. And some days are rough. What's it like for a guy dressed like this to have this conversation with you? CMYKFPV says, just did a pyro order. What'd you get, dude? Morton Upshot says, you sound good. Thank you, brother. Uriel says, 1S0465 build. You know what is. What's that mean? Uriel says, get Teddy under our shirt and hoodie. He would lose his mind. I would die. He would claw me to death. Denzel the Terrible says, just until fire is going, gets the airflow moving upward. Oh, I know what you mean. So yeah, interesting story about that, actually. We went to light a fire for our first fire of the year a couple of weeks ago. And all the smoke starts pouring in the house. We're like, what the fuck? We put the fire out, whatever. I was mentioning it to my dad, and he's like, oh yeah, you've got a column of cold air in the chimney. You got to push that column of cold air up and out. He's like, don't you remember? I used to have to do that with our fireplace in the basement. And I was like, oh, I kind of do remember. He's like, yeah, just take a piece of newspaper and roll it up into a big long stick and then light it and hold it up into the flue, and it'll push a nice column of air up. And so, yeah, I came home and did it. I didn't do it quite right the first time. I didn't get the fire up far enough in. I was just kind of holding it in the middle of the fireplace, and it didn't really work. And then I kind of thought about it that night, and I came back the next day, and I held it up properly, and boy, does it work. Good Lord. And so, yeah, we've been doing that ever since, and it's good to go. Upstairs, the both fireplaces, upstairs and downstairs, they're both gas fireplaces. The one upstairs just has a tiny little gas burner because it's a log fireplace with a gas starter, which is actually really, really nice. You don't have to use any tinder or any nonsense. You just hold the long lighter under there, you turn the little thing on, the little burner goes, and you put the logs on top, and it lights the logs on fire for you. It's really, really cool. The gas fireplace down here that I never use is like a proper big long gas thingy with the weird like felt material and the fake logs and shit. But I just never turn it on. I'm a cheap bastard, and I'm absolutely certain that this gas fireplace is not as efficient as the furnace is. Render says, I left lipos in my bag and they were all rubber banded together. They didn't pull my bags, but they stopped it in the X-ray scanner for about 15 minutes, pointing at it in Denver midday. Yeah, lipos probably look really scary under the X-ray. Don't leave them in your bag. It will waste a bunch of your time. Render says, CiottiFPV, it has a button. What has a button? Oh, the carbon monoxide detector? Yeah, I pushed it. It did a series of beeps. I assume it's working. JP Spin says, another round of bad advice brought to you by CiottiFPV. Render says, they do have a lifespan. I think it's 5 to 10 years, depending on the model. Smokes can be as much as 12 to 15 years. Smokes? Oh, smoke detectors. Yeah. Uriel says, okay. That's just a whole bunch of random letters together. Rybread says, any closets appearing or disappearing? LOL. Anything carbon monoxide reminds me of the Reddit story about the guy whose closet turned into a bathroom. Jesus. Free Range Chicken, thank you again for the super generous super chat. Moss1 says, what's up? Who are we rap battling? Uriel says, you look like Junabomber. Disabled Conjure Android says, thanks for doing such a good job. Render says, the shades are giving, I had too many AMFs last night. I had too many AMFs last night. What's AMFs? All right, I can't wear these. Those are insane. Boy, do I like them right there, though. I don't know where those came from. Kelvin says, love the energy even though you don't want to be here. Thank you, we appreciate it. But that sounds awful, even though you don't want to be here. I mean, it's not that I don't want to be, like, I want to hang out with you guys. It's just, yeah, I don't want to work. Like, some days you just don't want to work, right? You want to just, like, stare at the wall and just be in absolute and utter self-misery at what's happening in the world around you. So it's yeah. Render says, audios, mother effers. What's that mean? Ghastly says, best way to waterproof the 04 Lite. It's already waterproofed. I'm not going to say most PCBs, but a lot of PCBs that you'll buy are already conformal coated. The dead giveaway is when they have like a shine to them. This has been in this quad for a long time. So it might just be dirty, but you see how, like, it's dull? It's like kind of matte. That is not conformal coated. Oh, I have a fucking 04 Lite here. What's the matter with me? The 04 Lite, one of the things we talked about when I unboxed and fondled it the other day was, oh look, it's shiny. It's conformal coated already. So if you look at it and you like directly bounce a light off of it, your Logitech piece of shit webcam will not focus. There's just 1,000 little tiny points of contrast for you to focus on, you heap of shit. There it is. See how it's like just shiny? Hold on. I'm trying to get the light to catch it. Hold on. I think the other side it's easier to see. Yeah, this side it's easier to see it. See those chips on the left? See how shiny those are? See, like down the bottom there, that shine on that chip? That's the conformal coating that's making that's making these components shiny versus that. See how there's it's like dull on there? Yeah, as like a last step in the manufacturing, a lot of times they'll just dip them. They'll dip the PCBs in conformal coating. And so, yeah, every once in a while you'll get a component that's conformal coated. I'm looking at the Matrix AIO right now to see if... Nah, the Matrix AIO does not look conformal coated. It looks a little bit too matte to me. That's not an exact science, just looking at it with a loop and bouncing a light off of it, but sometimes it's pretty obvious. Yeah, this DJI 04 is... Well, you know what's interesting is that most of the components on it very obviously look conformal coated, but then like the top of the main chip is not. So that's kind of interesting. But like there's certain components that you don't want to conformal coat, like all of the plugs and whatnot. So in theory, they put all of the components on there that they didn't want to conformal coat, and then they did want to conformal coat, and then they conformal coated it, and then they put the components on there that they didn't want to be exposed to the conformal coating. If I would not come in, there's too much going on that, and it's too expensive. You know, you've got the bind button. If you get conformal coating in there, you're fucked. If you get conformal coating in the USB port or in the JST plug, you're fucked. If you get conformal coating on the MIPI, you're fucked. So I would not recommend that you conformal coat something that's that expensive. You know what I mean? For like a $20 or $30 board, it's like whatever. But yeah, something that's $100+, I would not conformal coat it. Fresh water usually doesn't kill these things anyway. As long as you get them out of that fresh water as quickly as possible and get them in front of a fan or into a vessel with like silica or rice even. So yeah, I think I've only had one thing die from getting wet, and I've had at least a dozen, maybe as many as 24 run-ins with standing water between tiny whoops and 5-inch rigs and Cinewhoops and 3-inch rigs and whatnot. It's 6S1 says never ever ever use rice. Why? Is rice no good? I mean, look, you guys should have... Look, the fan is the answer. Take a fan... Like, if it happens when you're out, start your car right away, put the air conditioning on, put the floor vents on full blast, and put it down in the floor vent and just let that blow on it. If you're at home and it happens, crank a fan up to full blast and put it on top of the fan. Boy, does that just work. Leave it there for 24 full hours. Get the battery unplugged as quick as you can. Put it on top of a fan. Done. If you've been saving your little desiccant packets, which you should, that's great. Have like a little container of all those silica desiccant packets and put it in there. But man, the fan has worked for me every single time. I've been using the fan trick for ever. And it's literally always worked. Other than that prototype beta FPV AIO that went into the dog bowl that I kept arming over and over and over again. Go figure. When you crash into the dog's bowl and you sit there arming, going full throttle, arm full throttle, arm full throttle. It kills the damn thing. And it only killed the VTX. It didn't kill anything else. Completely served me right. But yeah, I'm sure there's other ways. Alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, the highest percent that you can get your hands on. You dump that on it, and that chases a lot of the water out. But seriously, just a fan. The air conditioning in your car, I was gonna say dehydrates. I guess it does dehydrate. it dries the air when you run it through the air conditioner. And so that works really, really well. Floor vents full, air conditioning full, and put the air conditioning on max. When you put your air conditioning on max, it recycles the internal air. If you have an old ass and or ultra cheap car like me, you'll have a switch to go from recycle the inside air to the outside air. Put it to recycle the inside air, because then it's gonna dehydrate the air over and over and over and over and over again. Lots of ways to do it. Don't fear water. You'll be fine. But Ertzen says, is that a heli-nation talon? Rip heli-nation. It is, yeah. I once, many moons ago, I was on the hunt for, back in the early days of the Glide, actually, I was on the hunt for a good quality 20x20 flight controller. And I tried a talon, and it held up really, really, really well. And so I got a whole bunch of them. I think I bought like 8 Talon flight controllers, and so most of my rigs have Talon flight controllers in them. Although I think I'm finally out. I think I don't have any left at this point, which is super sad, because someday I'll have to find another good 20x20 flight controller. But yeah, the red Talon, plus they were red, which is cool. Teutonian says, I don't want to work, I just want to bang on the drum all day. What's that from? That sounds very familiar. Render says it's a horrible cocktail that's purely meant to end your night. 661 says AMF is a drink. Is it? What the AMF? Oh. Vodka, rum, tequila, gin. Okay, that's horrifying. Blue curacao. Sweet and sour mix. Ugh. Sprite. Ugh. Gross. You guys are gross. Mark GFPV says, seems like the 04 Lite is very sensitive to jello. Yeah, I've been seeing that. It needs to be soft mounted only if you run it through GyroFlow, though. Have you heard about it, and do you have any thoughts? I don't have really any experience with... I have literally no experience with GyroFlow. I've never downloaded it. I've never run it. The only stabilization experience that I have is with RealSteady Go and now GoPro Player through GoPro Hero 8s, 10s, and now 12. And it just works. Banged up rigs, whatever. It just, well, I've only ever really used it on Cinewhoops, and I never really fly them when they're banged. That's not true. That's not true. I have absolutely flown the Cinewhoop with banged up propellers when in the goggles it's a total mess, and then RealSteady Go just handles it and it just fixes it. And so yeah, I don't really have any experience with GyroFlow. Those sorts of builds that I've been using that stabilization software on are big and heavy, right? And that kills a lot of those really high frequency vibrations that I assume are what GyroFlow is having a problem with. I don't really see the point to using GyroFlow on the 04 Lite. It's, GyroFlow is for like purely cinematic stuff that you're usually going to be sending to someone that's paying you. And you should not be flying an 04 Lite in that scenario. You should be flying the 04 Pro. The 04 Lite is also significantly narrower field of view. And then so if you then run that through GyroFlow, it's going to give you even less field of view. So yeah, I don't know why people are... And the 04 Lite is for freestyle rigs, and freestyle footage should not be run through or used with stabilization. And so, yeah, I've certainly heard that and seen that, but, get good, scrubs. Fly better. Don't use stabilization on freestyle footage. That used to be a real cardinal sin, and I kind of miss those days. I miss the days of, you know, there being nothing to hide behind. If you flew super janky, everybody got to see your super janky flying. If you took the time to learn how to fly smooth, everybody got to see you fly smooth, and they'd be like, damn, he flies smooth. You know, then all of the digital smoothing shit came out, and, you know, we had pilots that were like 6 months into FPV that looked like they were one of the top pilots just from hitting a button and turning on hypersmooth, right? Which, like, you know, it feels very like get off my lawn-ish to say all that, but I don't know. The 04 Lite, it does not have a wide enough field of view to then put it through GyroFlow in my example. It's you know, that's gonna like really want to crop in. And so I just don't think that the 04 Lite should be used with GyroFlow. And from what I've seen, when it doesn't really have major jello problems when you're not... I mean, jello has nothing to do with GyroFlow. And so, yeah, don't use GyroFlow is my solution to that. Easy for me to say, you know. I've spent a lot of time and effort learning to fly very smoothly. But so should you. Fly 6 batteries a day and you won't need GyroFlow. Cheatonian says, it's funny they conformal coated it, but then they stuck a big moisture sensitive sticker on it as well so they can deny coverage. Yeah, I mean, that's anybody. Disabled Conrad Android says, desiccant. Oh, there it is. Denzilla Terrible says, rice will keep something dry, but it is inefficient at drying things. Okay, and it's dusty. Interesting. Yeah, I knew that it didn't work nearly as well as desiccant, but I figured like in a pinch, it would be better than nothing. But seriously, the fan thing is the move. Disabled Combat Android says dehumidify. That's it. That's what I was looking for. Dehumidify, not dehydrate, which I think is what I said. Uriel says, me and my aquarium, the fancy goldfish still traumatized. Quad 66 is in the house. What's up, homie? He says, mental image of the dog bowl whoop made me laugh. Have been there. Yeah, it happened on a live stream. I think it happened on the... I think it happened on the Air 65 review live stream. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Hold on. Air 65. Let's see if I can quickly... Yeah, I think it happens in here. You know what? It wasn't the prototype. It was the goddamn production one. There, here it is. There it is.
Oh, uh-oh. Oh, God. Can we get it out? No. Oh, God.
I guess I didn't arm it. All right. I guess my memory of it was like, like sitting there for 10 minutes. But, no. I mean, I did...
On the corner. Oh, okay. I don't... Oh. Uh-oh. Oh, God.
I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that.
No. Oh, God.
I only did it twice. I guess it's not that bad, but don't arm it at all. It's bad enough that it went in there in the first place. God. For the record, the reason that I knew is because when it immediately goes to static like that, what's happening is the antenna is going underwater, and water blocks RF really, really, really well. So if you're flying somewhere where there's water and you crash and there's a chance that it went in the water and you get instant static like that, get the fuck up and go get it. That is like it is in the water, bro. Like every single time that I've crashed in the water, like the first time it happened, I didn't realize that. But every single time I've ever crashed in the water since that first time, I've known it right away, and the goggles come up and you just start running to get it as soon as you possibly can and get that battery unplugged. Some people say that you want to unplug the battery underwater. I've never had the forethought to do that. I've just gotten in, grabbed it, and just get it up into my hands and get the battery unplugged as quick as possible. I feel like maybe getting it out of the water to get the battery unplugged as quick as possible is a better bet than like, oh wait, let me think. Oh no, hold it under. It's underwater. My fingers are slippery because it's under. You know what I mean? Just get the fucking battery unplugged and get in front of a fan. I think that's your best bet. I could be wrong, but Notice says Todd Rundgren tune. What the hell's that mean? Zip says, only been watching you for a few weeks. You probably mentioned it before, but how did you get into FPV? Did you start with fixed wings or helis? I kind of started with helis way before FPV was a thing. Those stupid foam helicopters that they sold at like kiosks at the mall that were infrared powered, you know, that had like the main, they had the counter rotating. Well, that's hard to do. The counter rotating main rotors and then the vertical little tiny brushed motor on the back that would push it forward. I got one of those from the internet, from like eBay or something, for $20 way long ago. And I just thought it was the coolest thing ever to fly around like the living room. And like I flew it enough to be able to like confidently like fly the whole, you know, the battery was built in. I was able to fly the whole battery, charge it up, and then fly the entire battery around the living room without crashing it. And I just thought it was super cool. And that was the end of it. My best friend in my 20s and 30s, who bailed on me in the divorce of my ex-wife, I met him through airsoft in my early 20s, and we fell way down the rabbit hole for like 6 or 7 or 8 years with airsoft. After we both got out of it, we didn't really have a shared hobby. Probably 9 years ago at this point, 8 or 9 years ago, he bought a Tiny Whoop and the original Ishin 010, maybe? And he was like, wow, this is super cool. And for Christmas was coming up, so he sent me a Blade Nano QX 3D. No camera on it, but line of sight with some sort of a PID loop built in. And I was blown away by how stable it was. Also quad, right? First time I'd ever flown something with 4 motors. And I was completely taken by how it just fucking sat in the air. And you would push it, and it just the authority that it had was just I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I blasted that thing around line of sight, the parking lot at the apartment I was living in Charleston, and had a really good time. At that current time in my life, I was unemployed, and so just no money. I really wanted to get into FPV, of course, you know, start looking up videos, find Rotor Riot, right? Everything that all of us that have been into this for 8+ years did. I start looking around and like everything is like $200, $300, $400. I'm like, you know, that's completely unrealistic for me right now. Right around that time, the original Emax, the white plastic Emax Baby Hawk came out. And it was $100, and I was like, "That's it. I can. That's realistic." And so I bought. Oh no, where is it? Here it is. I bought this QX7 for $80 from Grayson Hobby, unbelievably, which is like 5 miles from where I live now. Back then, I was living in Charleston. But Grayson Hobby they would set these up for you. And so I bought this, and I think I also got the Baby Hawk from them, and they set this all up for me, and it was bound, and it was ready to go. And yeah, that's what started it all. That's what started me down the rabbit hole. And I got a set of Ishin 007 goggles, which were like $80 or $60 or something like that. And I just bought a shitload of batteries, and I started flying 10 batteries a day every single day. On that thing, and then started upgrading it, and yeah, away I went. That was 8 or 9 years ago. Brandon's Baked Bean says, 04 Lite needs a squishy mount if you need to use GyroFlow or rocksteady. but just turn it off because tuning a micro to fly smooth is pretty easy and isn't even needed. My thoughts exactly. Morton Upshot says, can I get an IO? International Open? What? Are you going to IO? Craig Myers says, flew my 6 batteries, actually about 12 plus today. My man. Craig Myers also says, great learning to fly story. Yeah, man. And then early days, I guess, I don't know, a year and a half in to flying FPV, Rotor Riot held a quad camp at Grayson Hobby. And I went to that, and by then I had like 3... I built my first 5-inch right before that event. And I was all excited about that, but I brought a bunch of the micros, and at that time I had like a 2-inch rig, a 2.5-inch rig. The Tiny Hawk was a 3-inch rig. And Drew noticed that I had a whole bunch of the micros, Ladrib. And after quad camp, there was everybody was just kind of screwing around, and they had like one little 2-inch micro that a bunch of the pro pilots, Kevin and Bot Grinder and Oh My God was there. I forget who else tried it. Bardwell tried. They took 2 folding tables and they stacked them on top of each other, and they were like, all right, let's see who can fly under the bottom one and then power loop up over it and then fly back through it. And none of those guys could do it. And then Drew remembered that I had a bunch of micros, and he comes running over and he's like, I have an edit about this on the channel, actually. Drew comes running over. He's like, you got that fleet of micros? You try this. I'm like, oh, fuck. And so I took the 4S 2.5-inch rig and hit the power loop, and everybody went crazy. And then jokingly I said, like, should I Matty flip it? And then I did that as well, and it was pretty cool. And that's what kind of kicked off me having any amount of FPV fame. If it were not for that, I would almost certainly not be sitting here right now, because that gave me just a little bit of a kick in the ass to have anybody watch any of my stuff. Bardwell did an edit about that, which, yeah, got some people coming to the channel, and that gave me that little bit of a push to, have a little bit of notoriety. And away we went. It's really hard to do it without something like that happening. Really, really hard. Like, extremely hard. Craig Meyer says, way to go, excellent. Sam says, do you ever check your Tiny Whoop continuity using a multimeter after you're done building a Tiny Whoop? I do not. It would take all of 30 seconds, but I don't. It's a really, really, really good idea. But yeah, I've done so many builds over the last 8 years that, like, I just skip a lot of the things that it's with anything other than a Tiny Whoop. It's not as necessary because of the Vi-Fly short stopper, but with a Tiny Whoop there is no kind of a short stopper, and so it's pretty reckless to just fire a battery up with the damn thing. But I mean, if it's gonna blow up, it's gonna blow up. Like, I've gotten good enough at soldering that it's not gonna be me screwing it up. It's gonna be like with these HGLRC boards, for example. The board is blown up, and you put voltage to it, and it explodes. If I'd hooked up a multimeter to it, it would have shown continuity, and then I would have looked at it really closely and been like, I can't see any problems with it because it's an internal problem. And then I would probably either put power to it, and it would blow up anyway, or I would contact the manufacturer, whoever I bought it from, and be like, yo, this thing's blown up. But yeah, it's a really good thing to do. There's no reason not to whip out the multimeter and hook the leads up to make sure there's not continuity. But I'm lazy. Literally is. It's almost 100% laziness. Craig Meyer says, so basically you were on the spot and pull it out of your ass. Yep. That's the origin story of a lot of folks, actually. Something happened, and away we went. Let's fly, my friends! 40,000 kV, 65 millimeter 1S build. WeBleed FPV 0702 40,000 kV motors, HQ ultralight bi-blades, 1.2 by 1.2 by 2. Super ultralight, terrible performing antenna. It's just a whip antenna with the ground plane removed. Beta FPV Matrix AIO. The Beta FPV banana hammock canopy CO3 camera that I can already see is not quite rotated perfectly. Come on, man. I think I just got it fixed. Newbie drone cockroach V3 frame. Let's do it. Oh. In the stream title, I put 16 grams. This build, in that thumbnail image, was 16 grams. That's when it was on the old school Air 65 AIO with direct soldered motors. It's now on the Matrix AIO, which is significantly heavier. Also in that image, it was on the Lite AF frame, which broke pretty quick. This is now on the V3 frame. This now weighs 17.5 grams. But what I'm doing tonight is I'm running the 1 gram lighter 260 mAh 1S batteries on it. These batteries are 1 gram lighter than the 300s, so this is going to perform just like a 16 gram rig. Cool? We're not going to get the runtime, we're not going to get quite as much power, but that's okay. The very last battery I'm going to fly is going to be a 300 mAh battery. But I've got 5 of these 260s, and I wasn't going to remake that thumbnail image to change the 16 to a 17. So, it's a 16... It's a 16 gram tiny whoop. Make sense? Can you really blame me? It helps when you turn your transmitter on, I've heard. I gotta get it off of the simulator model and onto the ELRS model. Alright, Express ELRS. Connect, you bastard. Connect! Do it! Yes! No! Yes! Let's get this little tiny dog first and foremost. Where is he? There he is. Let's stalk his fat little ass as he works his way down here. Oh god, no. Oh god, no. Teddy, you know. You know what you need to do. You know the assignment, little boy. Keep going. Keep going. Don't you stop. Hold on. Can I get a... Come on, buddy. Come on. Come on. This will be the best shot ever. Come on. You know what to do. Look at him shake. Come on. Do it. Do it. Do it, dog. Do it. Get your... Oh, God. Oh, no. No, no. Maybe that's what he needed. Come on, buddy. You can do it. You know what you need to do. If I can pull this shot off, I'll be a tiny whoop god. Look at that little face. Come on, doggy. Let me get the reverse backwards stare shot of you. Please, this little battery is... Oh, no! He's like, fuck this shit. I don't get paid enough for this. Oh, what a little jerk. Oh, God! Oh, no! Oh, boy. Usually these little 260s... Ooh! Last longer than this. This one might be a little... hurt. Oh, farts. I tried to cut that really close. Oh! Oh, I just nipped the wall. Oh, here he comes. I think. Nope. Two minutes and 12. That's like nothing because I was hovering the entire time. This battery is hurting. Is a hurting battery. Let's try another one. Here he comes. Here he comes. Good dog. Come and protect me from the tiny whoop, buddy. Yep, stand right here next to me and make sure the evil little tiny whoop doesn't try to destroy me. Thank you for that. You're a good dog, Teddy Spaghetti. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. I'm going to put another 300 mAh battery on the charger. Maybe we'll have time to fly more than just that one 300. I'm going to put 2 more 300s on the charger. What do you think of that? Buddy, come on. I need more energy than that. Woo! Oh, what the hell? Oh, wow. I hit both a cymbal and a tom. Oh my god, what is happening? Hold on. Let me go into the menu. Where's the piloting skills feature in here? Is it There's the dog. What is this that's happening? Why is it yawing on the ground instead of turtle moding over? Protect me, Teddy! Look how evil the tiny whoop is! Here we go! Time to fly terribly! Time to try things that are way beyond my skill level. What am I doing? Okay. Hold on. I gotta get used to the... my first excuse is going to be that I need to get used to the extra up tilt of the banana hammock canopy. Oh! Ooh, get in there. You filthy animal. Oh, you thought it was the floor, didn't you, for a split second there? How the hell did it land on the coffee table? It went through these gates, I promise you. Oh, what did it even hit on that one? These motors have all kinds of power. Ugh! Oh! Oh! Almost got the big power loop on sort of the first try. Oh, come on now. Don't be a jerk. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, hey, no. Oh, hey. We're good. Everything's fine. No! Oh, I'm having a hard time tonight. Oh, boy. Arm, you bastard! What was that, 3 mid-air arm attempts? Just being mean to these 260 mAh batteries. Mean! Alright, come on now. Let's not fly like such a buffoon on this next battery. How's that sound? Let me just slow it down. I'll fly a little gently. Let's just chill it out and slow it down. It's kind of hard to do. This canopy, this banana hammock beta FPV canopy is it's got an awful lot of up tilt. But let's just try to slow it down and relax for a minute. It doesn't have to be like back-to-back power loops, Matty flips, dives, tiny gaps. Look at the image quality from this CO3. Teddy, do something more interesting than that. Come and attack it. What is with you tonight? Why is the bottom of his face so flat? There we go. Yeah, there it is. There's my buddy. Yeah, buddy. You get it. You get it. I'll blow that fluff around. You get it. Whoa. Yeah, buddy boy. Make everybody laugh. Go ahead. Do something else funny. Come on. Come on. All right, ready for the growl? Here we go. Oh! I usually try to do that little takeoff with a little bit of rear pitch so that I don't rocket it into his face. But on that one, I had a little bit of rear pitch, but then I tried to pitch it forward a little bit, and I almost hit him right in the face. I'm very glad that I didn't. Yeah, little dog. You show it. You show it who's boss. Show. Ooh! He usually doesn't go after it once it's up in the air. Oh no! I thought I could just sneak it and not have it touch the wall there. CO3 camera, though. Come on. Ah! No! No! Oh, I didn't know you'd be there, Teddy. Oh, shit. Let's just... Oh! Oh, I was almost lined up for that. That would have been hot shit. Ooh. Get in there. Oh, yeah! So now this quad does not have a micro V antenna sticking up all high. And so I was able to shoot under that super low gap. Notice says, what's the motor limit on those 40Ks? There is none. I run them full spank a lot of puss. But I do have quite a bit of throttle expo, which is why I can control my elevation like you see me controlling my elevation. With 65 millimeter motors, I don't really motor limit them. You guys should, because it's too much. But I've flown so many tiny whoop batteries that I've somehow managed to get decent enough to... Oh god, that's a leaf. Get the hell out of here, leaf. How dare you? Yeah, for your first, like, 1,000 tiny whoop batteries, and I'm not even kidding, you should be using motor limiting. Ah! I was all lined up to drop into the second. I wanted to go through the middle, out the top. You son of a bitch, you. Through the middle, out the top. These chairs get in the way, though. I wanted to do that, and then... the chair got me again! Ooh! I can't believe I just saved that. Oh my god! Woo! What you know about that? Ah! Hey! It's fine. Everything's cool. Oh man, that looks hot going through that cube, like with the front flip. Oh, bro! I just put this cube. I just put these newbie drone gates back up. I never had them set up in a cube like this. So the newbie drone gates are much smaller. The opening in the gate is like really small compared to all these other ones, and it makes it really difficult. But I like it as this cube an awful lot. Get warmed up a little bit here. Oh! Ooh, threading that motherfucking needle. Woo! 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 No! We were doing so well. Oh! I forgot how fun it is to shoot really little gaps and just be okay with making corrections on the way up to the gap. As like a cinematic pilot outside of these live streams, doing as much gig work as I can possibly get my hands on. One of the things that you have to like get good at and learn is not making any corrections. Like you can make like a very small corrections because you're gonna put it through real steady go, GyroFlow, whatever, and it'll take like really small corrections out. But like I'm talking like really small corrections. A correction that alters the path of the quad, even with horizon leveling turned on, it becomes very obvious because even though the horizon is level, the camera will go like this, right? It'll noticeably. So like if you're on your way up to a gap, and you do like a left-right rock back and forth to get yourself properly lined up, even with horizon leveling, the shot will go, and it just looks terrible to me. I'm super, super, super critical of that because I've been doing this for so long. But like that, yeah, that's just sort of unacceptable to me. So what you get really good at is just holding it and just not making the correction. And you run it all the way up to the gap. And at the absolute last second, if you're not gonna make it, you bail. Freestyle flying, instead of bailing, especially with these things being so durable, I just let it roll and I just let it rip towards the gap. And if it goes through, great. If it doesn't, it's fine. Turtle mode it back over and take back off. That is the main reason that I crash so much. And it's partially me like practicing for the cinematic work that I do, but it's also just because it doesn't matter. Like you crashed, whatever. Every once in a while, people will comment like, dude, holy shit, you crashed so much. It's kind of hard to watch. And so every once in a while, I will remember to like, hey, try not to crash so much. So there's two ways of doing that. There's stop trying to do constant power loops and Matty flips. And there's also be okay with making corrections on your way up to the gaps. And I'm trying to do both of those things right now. And it's fun. It's fun. Like it's freeing to be able to allow myself to make those corrections and shoot more consistently shoot the little gaps. Because yeah, shooting little gaps is super, super, super fun. So let's keep that going. Let's do a little bit more of that. And then this is my last 260 mAh battery. There's one 300 mAh battery that's charged. There's two that are charging. We will see if the other two are ready in time. But we'll fly at least two more batteries. And it's it's only 11:43. This might be a less than 2 hour live stream. I don't know if that's happened more than a literal handful of times. Hold on. Hypnos is in the house. He says, I nailed an epic Matty on my Infinity Tuttle with the 40,000s. They're fun to rip. They really are. Render says, started running 35% Expo. Flies great. Expo is the way. Denzel the Terrible says, did you know full Spank-A-Lot-of-Puss is the scientifically accepted name for max power? It was first coined by Werner von Braun. I can't tell if you're messing with me or if that's true. If that's true, I absolutely love it. Labster says 29,000 kV RCinPower or 40,000 kV WeBleed. In your opinion, the more powerful motor. The more powerful, not in my opinion, factually, is the RCinPower. It's not a higher RPM motor, though. So I actually have a set of those RCinPowers for sale on my Etsy store, which will give you some idea about how much I like them. I'm actually totally fine with them. I just don't like them as much as these 40,000 kV Happy models. These have much better runtime. Where the hell am I? Oh, I'm next to the couch between my flight bag. Yeah, these motors have significantly better runtime, and they still have plenty of power. and they also have higher RPM. So basically the difference between those two motors is that the RCinPower motors will accelerate faster, but they won't accelerate up to as high of a top speed. So the 40,000s, especially with a bi-blade, if you let them sit at full throttle for like a half a second, they will achieve a higher RPM, especially when they're unloaded in the air. Woo! Talk about laying a motherfucker out, yo. That was one of the best looking giant power loops I've ever done. Oh. Ooh, it went through the back of it. Okay. Oh, what a little run that was to be just ruined. Ah. So yeah, the RCinPower motors absolutely make more power. They will accelerate much faster, and they go. You'll like, especially if you put a pitchy prop on them, they'll go every bit as fast as you need them to. But these Happy Model 40,000s, I really like the runtime on them. I really like the way that they feel, and you can replace the bells with WeBleed 1.5mm motor shaft bells, and they become completely indestructible. So yeah, the Happy Model motors for me are still the go-to. But boy, those RC... Oh. Of course the DVR wasn't running. The Fat Shark DVR never works. You son of a bitch!
Dylan! You son of a bitch.
I better not get copyright dinged for that. Ugh. Ah! Nope. Oh! Ay! Chihuahua! Oh no! I touched the wall and that screwed up my plan. I did a big hit of throttle to get it stopped because I had a real head of steam going into that cube. Okay. Oh. Ah. Get out of there. Yeah. This is with a 300 mAh battery, by the way. That's what I was trying to do. Oh! Ooh, Dylan, you son of a bitch, you! Yo! Told you the Happy Model 40,000s are the jam. These props are getting a little beat up from these crashes, though. Oh, just caught it. Ah! No. Can you? Thank you. Oh, it went through the first one. Yeah, these props are hurting. Oh, that was dirty. Dirty last second inverted throw through those. Disgusting. We in it tonight. This is what happens when I fly the same thing for a few batteries in a row. Ooh. Martin Tanley says, what's the consensus on the best motor for 2-inch DJI Lite builds with the extra weight? Absolutely no idea. I haven't done a 2-inch build in probably 6 years. There probably is not a consensus yet because it's only been out for a couple of days. So, yeah. But, I mean, if you just look at all the 03 builds, you can just work backwards from there. It's a little bit lighter than 03. And so, yeah, just do whatever the 03 builds were, and then you'll have a little bit of extra power. This battery is not fully charged. These are the HQ 1.2 by 1.2 by 2 ultralight biblades. This ELRS antenna is getting banged up. There's not really a good place to put it with this banana hammock canopy, unfortunately. But I keep trying to thread it through the hole in the canopy for the VTX antenna. It's kind of okay in there, but I think as I crash, it's popping it out. Let me go into turtle mode and see if one of these propellers needs to get swapped. I can see the propeller that needs to get swapped. 2. Oh, motor 4 is in bad shape. Oh, motor 3 is in bad shape, too. Could be the propeller. Either these motors are getting banged up or the propellers are getting banged up, but you know what? We don't have jello yet, so let's just keep going. There's only this battery and the other one that's really not charged, so... Oh, no! I was really hoping it would drop down into that, but I kind of gave up on it, and then by the time it dropped in there, I'd already given up. Stop it! Oh, no! I tried to get... Teddy. I tried to get it behind that light stand, which is really close to the wall. Like that. That's what I was trying to do. Ah! Just clipped the ground. Ooh, this battery was not charged at all. Oh, I wanted to try to do the big power loop and then the small power loop. Did not need to disarm there. Man, these chairs and this table look really cool here, and it looks really empty without these, but boy are they in the way of playing with this dive tunnel. Ooh, that was pretty hot, though. Get you some! Fly 6 batteries a day, and you'll be flying like this within 6 short months. I'm laughing, but I don't even really know if I'm kidding about that. I have flown an unreasonable number of Tiny Whoop batteries over the last couple of years to get to this point. And it has made me a much better pilot with all things. Like when I fly Cinewhoops on set, it's it's pretty gnarly, man. I can do an awful lot with a Cinewhoop. So anybody that says like, "Oh, flying tiny whoops is bullshit," you don't learn anything from that. Those are people that have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. It is incredible practice. half-charged battery, last battery of the live stream, and then I'll get caught up on chat, and we can all go mourn the death of this country. Ooh! That might have gone through that. I'm not totally sure. It wasn't on purpose, so... Oh. Got a good little run going there. Oh! Oh! I hit that splash cymbal hard. Oh, what was that? Okay. Okay. The tiny whoop really wanted to go through the Nubidron cube. Oh! I tried to force it. Never force it, friends. Never force it. You'll just end up getting somebody pregnant. You don't need that noise in your life. Come on, you jerk. Get out of there, you jerk! You can usually do this to just slowly wedge it out. Not always, but usually. And then just throw it out of there. And then you've eaten half your battery instead of taking the walk of shame. Ah! And you can crash somewhere else unrecoverable and then have to take the walk of shame anyway. Oh, the camera is not rotated properly. The camera is not level, which explains why it has felt so weird. Yeah, look how not level the camera is. I'm hovering, so the quad is level, but look at the main beam. I absolutely hate these banana hammock canopies because of that. They just don't hold the camera. Yeah, it's what a nightmare that is. Boy, I really wish that somebody would come out with oh god, look how bad that is. I really wish somebody would come out with a canopy that is not trash. This is super, super, super annoying. And, like, I've got the screw that holds the camera in cranked, and yet it still comes out of adjustment, like, a lot. And when the camera is rotated like that, you just forget it. You're not going to hit any gap. You're not going to, like, do anything. It's just a complete nightmare. It's better now, but the battery's dead. This is my favorite way of checking it. Hover it up by the ceiling. No, it's still off. See how it's still crooked? God damn, dude. Yeah, somebody needs to figure this out, man, and make a molded canopy that's not a complete heap of shit. Because pretty much all the banana hammock canopies do this. And it's just bad. It's just really, really, really bad. Like, if I wanted my camera to not even remotely look straight ahead, I would fly a fractal frame. You know? Then I could have the camera looking sideways like this and be rotated. Yeah, we got some good shit in there. I was on fire for a minute there. God damn. That is the beauty of ultra lightweight frames / builds that don't have tons of extra obstructions down below the propellers. Yeah, goddamn. The ultimate freestyle tiny whoop formula is absolute magic. And, you know, like, I'm alright. I'm a pretty decent pilot, but, like, I'm not as good as this makes me look. This is a very flattering rig to fly. What is that? What's happening there? What's that little booger? Oh, that's just the old liquid electric tape. Damn, dude. And this Matrix AIO is holding up really, really well. No bullshit, no, like, weird stuff. Just gotta find a canopy that's not shite. Shite! Somebody asked about the Hummingbird Race V3.1. Yes, I did a live stream a week or two ago. where I got it connected to the Nomad. It's the Nomad live stream, actually. The Gemini Nomad live stream. The first thing I did was finally get this bound up to something and rail it around. It's absolutely ridiculous. It is so light. It is so powerful. The canopy is awful though. It just wobbles all around and the camera rotates in it. And so, yeah, this canopy is a complete nightmare. But other than that, this thing is outrageously good. Serviceability is a joke because of the winding material that they're basically using for the wires. But man, out of the box and until this thing breaks, it is the best flying race-oriented tiny whoop ever. Maybe that there ever will be, because it's just so aggressive, like it is such a no compromises race build that yeah, super impressive, crazy to fly. Let's get caught up on chat. CiottiFPV.com to support me if you would like, if you would like to see this continue. Chris Croft says, I got goggles 3 and 04 Lite on the weekend, currently installed in my Flyfish RC Volador VX 3.5. Very cool. Max Gervitz says, I picked up a newbie drone Lite AF frame and the Cockroach V3, and for some reason my Tattoo 1 300 batteries fit super loose in both of them. What am I missing? I have those exact batteries here that I run on those frames all the time, and they fit totally fine. This is the Lite AF frame, and like it's totally fine. And then what we were just flying actually is the Cockroach V3 frame, and it fits in there even better actually. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you just push the like there's no like secret way of pushing the battery into it. You just push the battery into it. I have no idea what to say. Sorry, dude. I wish I was more of a help. I've never had that issue with those frames, and I've been running them since literally they were sending me the prototypes. I mean, I guess maybe something could have changed in the frame or in the mold or something like that, or maybe they got warped during shipping. But yeah, the battery should just drop right in there. Running Water says, any newer AIOs looking promising durability-wise? $75 for a 2G4 now. Oof. What I was just flying, the Beta FPV Matrix. Is it really that much? 2G4. I mean, here's the thing, though. Yeah, wow, $75. I mean, here's the thing. The 2G4 frame, AIO is so durable that even though it's $75, it's going to last a long time. And so, like, you buy any other AIO and it blows up in less time than the 2G4, and then you got to buy another one. And so any money that you've saved is now gone. But Beta FPV Matrix AIO, wow, that's cheap. $50. So yeah, the Matrix AIO is what I was just flying, and I'm probably 40, 50 batteries into it, and it's been fine. So maybe that'll be okay. Here's the thing. I have 2G4s with like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of batteries through them. And so, yeah, $75 is a lot of money, but it is the most durable Tiny Whoop AIO of all time. Maybe the Matrix is as durable. It hasn't been out long enough for us to have put 300, 400, 500 batteries through it. And it's no lighter. So buying the Matrix is a $25 gamble, right? You're gambling that it's going to be anywhere near as durable. The 2G4 is just a known quantity. It's going to be a tank. It weighs the same performance. So yeah, there you go. That's how you're going to make that choice. Do you want to take a $25 gamble, or do you want to spend more to get something that we know is ultra, ultra, ultra durable? I don't have the answer for you. Demo FPV says, we talked about that. Moss1 says, what about the Mob 6 2024 canopy? Screws They camera into the camera, so no slipping. So I don't love any of the... Well, so that canopy breaks. The Mobula 6 2024 canopy breaks. The Beta FPV banana hammock canopy doesn't really break. I've broken one, but it was after a horrendous crash. So the Beta FPV canopy has that big advantage of durability, but then the camera rotates in there. The Mobula 6 2024 canopy, it's going to break, but before it breaks, you're going to have a camera that's screwed into it that's not going to rotate. The problem is you can't use the CO3 camera. The CO3 camera is so good. If I can get my hands on one of the Runcam Nano 8s, maybe that's the way. I do have a couple of those Mobula 6 2024 canopies. I don't have any of the extra cameras that go into it. And if I'm going to run a Runcam Nano 3 camera, here's the thing, right? If I'm going to run a camera that has the screws in the corners, I'm going to run it on a Mobula 6 old school ball sack canopy, right? And so, like, the Mobula 6 2024 canopy is, like, it's not as durable as the old school canopy, but it uses the same cameras, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's the whole point of me running these Beta FPV canopies is that I can use the CO3 camera, which is just awesome. So I'm kind of stuck in between. At some point, I have like 2 rigs right now, I think, with the G-string Beta FPV canopy, the banana hammock canopy. At some point, I'll get frustrated enough, and I will put those both onto Mobula 6 canopies with Runcam Nano 3s. But for the time being, I'm trying my best to be open-minded, because the CO3 camera does look incredible, but super annoying. Super, super, super annoying. McBucas says, I keep decapitating my quads with the banana hammock canopy. Those are junk. I'm not going to say that they're not junk. It's pissing me off too. Zips, I'm not breaking them though, which is interesting. Zip says, I've broken about 5 ceramic ELRS antennas by now. Any good way to protect them? No, don't protect them. They don't work as well, and they're heavier than a little piece of wire. Go to my channel and search for, click the little magnifying glass here that's kind of hidden. This is how you search on just someone's channel, and search for ELRS antenna fix. And 2 times on stream, I have fixed broken ceramic antennas with a little tiny piece of wire that, like I said, is lighter, and it performs better. The ceramic antennas don't perform worth a shit. So yeah, click on either one of these, and then there's going to be timestamps. And the wonderful Apache Smoke Wounded Sniper has timestamped this and many, many, many more streams. And if you look down here, there's going to be... here you go. 21 minutes in, I'll show you how to do it. Super easy. Very, very, very straightforward. And yeah, I did it on both live streams. YouTube is worthless, so it's not going to load. But yeah, super easy to do. If you have any 2.4 antenna, so we're talking FR Sky, Fly Sky, ELRS, whatever. Any antenna that's ever worked for, that's tuned for 2.4, you can just cut the active element off that antenna and use it. Or if you have a set of calipers or just a somewhat decent like ruler, you can just look up on Google what's the right antenna length for 2.4G, and it'll tell you, I think it's like 23.3 millimeters or something like that. Look it up, you'll find it. I talk about it in both of those videos as well, live streams as well. So yeah. And you don't have to get it perfect, you just have to get it close, and it'll actually work better than those stupid ceramic antennas. Jason Crabtree said, and it'll never break. Jason Crabtree says, can you take some measurements of the guy was having trouble fitting into a frame? What? I want got counterfeit 300 mAh batteries made with a 250 mAh cell. What? What am I taking measurements of? The batteries? Mikhail says, what do you think of using the 04 Lite on a 5-inch Freestyle rig? It'll save you a little bit of weight. I mean, a 5-inch Freestyle rig, yeah, I don't know. I still like analog. It's an interesting idea. I mean, if you're going to go all 04, why not? You're going to have to mount it up front because the camera cable is fairly short. The field of view is a little bit narrow. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than the 04 Pro. It'd probably be great. It would probably be completely fine. I would worry about like durability, but again, it'd probably be totally fine. Yeah, I don't know. I've got a bunch of like Vistas and analog stuff. So for me, like I wouldn't do it. But if you're going to go like all 04 and you're going to carry around a GoPro on a 5-inch Freestyle rig, then yeah, it might be a good option. I would rather bail on the GoPro and just do an 04 Pro in there, you know, and just have that. But if you're going to carry around an external action camera, then, and you want to go all 04, then yeah, I would. That's a great idea. Chromaticus says, I keep seeing people say that 04 Pro is going to kill action cameras and FPV. How true is that? Nothing is going to kill anything. Action cameras have a completely separate set of benefits and negatives. And so yeah, people that say this is going to kill this, they're just trying to get you to click on their video. You know, that those are typically people that don't know what the hell they're talking about. Not always, but sometimes. Yeah, no, there are benefits to having an external action camera, and there are negatives. There are benefits to having an internal, really high quality HD camera, and there are negatives. It's, you know, there's no real better. There's just different. Yeah, I don't know. There are plenty of situations where having an external action camera is a much better option. So, yeah, that's about it. Jason Crabtree, hurry up. Tell me what you need me to measure, because it's 12:13 and I want to go get some food. It's been 2 hours since the last time I ate, and so of course I'm starving. Jason, message me somewhere. CiottiFPV.com to support me if you like these live streams and want them to continue. I'm completely crowdfunded. If you're into FPV, you got an extra $3 or $5 a month. Throw it my way on Patreon. I will save you money, because eventually I will tell you not to buy something that you were thinking about buying, and that'll save you way more than that $3 a month. CiottiFPV.com, hit the Patreon button, join the Patreon. It's the best way that you can support me. My Etsy store has tons of new stuff on it. Buy a sticker when you buy other stuff on the Etsy store. Help me move some of these stickers. It really helps me out to keep this thing up and running. I love you guys. Be good. Here comes some more chasing RC drift cars. I'll see you guys on Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And if you guys know of if anybody knows of a half-decent hard drive enclosure that'll hold either 2 or ideally 4 hard drives that doesn't cost $1 million, let me know. I'm in desperate need of one. I'm like 3 or 4 deep into hard drive enclosures, and they're all just garbage, and it is absolutely driving me insane. So yeah, if anybody knows of a good one, let me know. Also, again, it can't be like a $500 enclosure. I don't got that kind of money. It's got to be like $100, maybe $150. But yeah, I'm struggling. Love you, bye! I'm not ready. Here you guys go! See you Wednesday. Or the hard drive will shit its pants, as always. I just wanted to rewind 30 seconds, you heap of shit. God damn. There it is.